Are you a mom struggling, dealing, or battling with an addiction or unhealthy habit that's leaving you feeling empty, lost, angry, or frustrated? Are you desiring true satisfaction that you can't find anywhere? Welcome to the Speak Truth podcast, where I share His truth and practical tools, tips, resources, prayer, and support to help you transform your life from unhealthy to healthy living. Hi, my name is Stacy Ziegler, and I'm a recovering attention seeker, now truth seeker, here to inspire, motivate, and move you to take action with confidence and courage. I share the good, the bad, and the ugly of my addictions and how I overcame and how you too can overcome with the right tools so you can walk in freedom from your addiction. So if you're ready to go from unhealthy to healthy living, join me and many women get transformed for the better and take back their life. See you inside. So, got a serious conversation I'm going to talk about, right? I got all fired up because maybe you guys didn't know, but hi, my name is Stacy, and I'm a certified health, fitness, life coach, right? Personal trainer. I talk about all kinds of things. I talk about truth. I talk about God, religion, faith, you name it. So faith, fitness, here we go. And so I'm a big advocate about health. And when it comes to health, people just think it's more like physical. It's like what you eat, being overweight. But let me tell you, most of us are unhealthy. We have unhealthy habits. And that's what I want to talk about, healthy and habits, which are pretty much addictions. So I'm sure, like me, we all have freaking addictions. It could be an addiction to drugs, to alcohol, to food, to sex, to gambling, to porn. It could be addiction to the news, to social media, whatever that is. What an addiction is when you consume yourself in that thing. And so I was thinking about it. I was having a little conversation by myself. I said, I need to go live. Because wait a minute. I'm talking out loud. This could be recorded. So why not come here? You guys can see my lovely face. Yes, I went to the gym. Whatever. I'm in my sweats. I'm folding laundry now. Doing some laundry here. And I was like, this is everything I talk about is about freaking addictions. About habits, vices and stuff. Those are the things that keep us away from living our purposeful life. Meaning life. Am I saying this right? A meaningful life with joy. Because addictions, guess what, right? Addictions consume us. They take our attention and focus energy away from the things that matter, right? Maybe you might think those addictions matter, but what is an addiction? Because it's compulsive, right? It's overly exaggerated. It's too much, right? Too much of anything is not good. So too much porn is not good. Too much sex is not good. I know we can argue about that. Too much, food, whatever, but it's knowing for the right reasons. Why are you consuming in these things? And so I had an epiphany. Well, I kind of already know this. The reason why we consume in these and we have these addictions is because we are trying to avoid and deflect the thing that we need to really solve and take care of. But it's easy to drown ourselves with the alcohol, to numb ourselves with the food, the alcohol, the sex, the porn, to give us that instant gratification, right? Because we just, we can't sustain without these days, right? This culture with everything here online on social media. You can Google, you can ask this, you can find out anything. You can have a delivery in the same day or the next day. There's no more waiting for anything. It seems like in this lifetime now. So it's just easy to be to consume, right? We are just these people who just consume, and overly consume on bad habits and vices and addictions, and becomes this addiction, right? And then it's not healthy for us. And really, it starts effing up our mental health, our physical health, our spiritual health, right? Because when we are in these addictions and we're so consumed, it takes us away from doing the thing that is right, that is important, that is meaningful in our life. So what I want to share with you is to think about it. We all have a freaking addiction. You know what your addiction is, okay? I'm not going to call anybody out. And I have an addiction, whether it's good or bad. Even addiction to, my boyfriend says I'm addicted to religion. That's all I talk about is God. And this, well, whatever. But I'm like, okay, I'd rather be consumed with God than be consumed by the devil and his evil ways and his deceit and lies. So, but for most of us, we are addicted to the things that we think make us feel good, like I said, in that moment, but really are not. They're bringing us down, leading us down further away from God and closer and deeper to the pains of hell. So the only way to overcome and deal with this is to take a step back. Take a step back and actually admit you have an addiction. And nobody wants to admit they have an addiction, right? My boyfriend also can say I have an addiction to social media. I'm always on social media. But for not the reason I'm not scrolling and looking at everybody's stuff. I'm a content creator. I am a coach. I'm an entrepreneur. I share content for an audience because I have so much in here that I want to share out there to you. Like right now, I had to come on and say this. So however he looks at it, maybe because he's saying I'm consumed because it consumes me from him, right? It occupies time from him. And all my energy is focused on my work, my art versus on him. So maybe you've had other people in your life say, hey, you're addicted to your phone. You're addicted to this. You're addicted to that. Because whatever that thing is, it's taking you away from the people in your life that care about you. And of course, we don't hear, no, I'm not addicted, and they probably have an addiction as well. But, what's the saying? Pluck your own log out of your eye before. But we all seem to want to judge others first. We want to call others out before we call ourselves out. Ooh, that's good, right? We want to call others out before we call ourselves out. And when someone calls us out first, we're like, what are you talking about? Look at you. And then there's this battle, this war of because nobody likes to be called out. And so our defense mechanism, comes up. And then we start, then the argument happens. We start fighting with the person, or whatever, because we don't want to acknowledge no, I don't have an addiction. Who are you to say I have an addiction? We don't want to be called out. But think about it. If you're hearing from multiple people, or you've heard it from your partner, your spouse, or maybe you even know that you have this addiction, then maybe you need to take a step back and think about, why do I have this addiction? What am I trying to avoid? What am I afraid to face in my life? Why am I consuming this thing in my life? Because that's what it is. When we're in consumption mode, consuming that thing that's taking our time, energy, focus away from the rest of our world, our life, our family, our loved ones, our children, our work, whatever it is, there's something that we are trying to avoid by numbing the pain, by quieting out the noise, right? By being distracted. Because it's easier to distract ourselves by consuming versus to fix the problem, my friend. I know. It's hard to sit there and just look at yourself and call yourself out and say, dang, I have an addiction to this and that. And, why? What needs to be healed in here? What is hurting you inside that you're trying to avoid? What is that pain that you're trying to avoid and numb? What are the voices up here? What are you feeling in here? Because there's something in here and in here that you're trying to avoid by consuming the alcohol, the drugs, the food, the porn, the sex, the gambling, social media, whatever, right? And then it's a cycle. I like to say the C's, you guys. It's called the 3 C's, right? First, who is the center of your C? I'll get to that. When you can have your circle and the C, the big C in the middle, be your center of your life, it will transform your life. But before we get to that, what are the 3 things, right? First, comparison, right? We compare ourselves, then we complain that we don't look like this. We don't have what this person has. My life sucks. Their life is wonderful. I'll never look like this. I'll never have that. I'm stupid. I'm ugly. I'm fat. Poor me. And then we try to drown out our pain from comparing ourselves to the rest of the world, or from what people told us we should be or act and behave, and we're not fulfilling that, because they're trying to compare us to some type of level or some social platform. And then we drown ourselves and consume. Like I said, we consume in the alcohol, the drugs, the food, the social media, the porn, the sex, the gambling. What am I missing here? The sports, maybe church, God, whatever it is, but that's a good one. So that's the circle. And then of course it's a cycle, right? Comparison from others, being compared to your brother or sister, being compared to, your neighbor, whatever. As a kid, maybe you've been compared to your brother is better than you, or they're smarter than you. So you always had this and felt this less than version of yourself because you've always been compared by others. And then therefore you go online and you see on TV and movies, and especially on social media, and you start comparing yourself it must be true. I'm really this or that. Look at this person. They got it all going on. And then we complain about our life, and then we consume to drown and numb the pain instead of facing it. So I want to tell you today, I'm going to leave you with this. Who's the person that could help you overcome that? Is Christ. There's the C in the center. When you could have Christ be the center of your life, he will help and complete you and fill that void of less than, that void of not feeling good enough, that void of not feeling like you matter, that you're not important, that you're not worthy, that you are unattractive. He will fill that void. So instead of comparing yourself to the rest of the world or being compared to other people in your life, whatever happened in the past, happened in the past. This is what you can do now. Compare yourself to Christ. Okay? You're probably saying, wait a minute, he's God though. I can never step in his shoes. Of course not. But we can look to him as the best role model that we can thrive to be. Not try to obtain to be like Oprah, not thrive to try to be like Steven Spielberg, or try to be like Dr. Phil, or try to be like Kobe Bryant, all these people. You know, God bless them, successful people. But I think that's what we base our worth on is success. That I have to be like this president, this sports star, this movie star, this actress, this rock star, you know, this speaker, whatever it is. They're at a different level than you and they chose a different path. Doesn't mean it's for you. God has a plan for you to work with you. And so that's when we have to put our trust in God, involve him into our life, put him in the center of our life so we can stop consuming the alcohol and the drugs and the sex and the gambling, and stop consuming the porn and stop consuming social media to try to fill this void, to feel better about ourselves, which ends up leaving us feeling worse about ourselves, leaves us feeling empty and dry. So that is what I have for you, my friend. It's definitely a road, but the first step in the process is becoming aware. And you probably know as I'm talking and speaking to you that you already know what that addiction is. Maybe you have more than one addiction, you know, but like I said, an addiction, unhealthy habit, it's just a behavioral issue that we cause on ourselves to numb something from our past, to numb some pain that we're feeling in here and we're trying to avoid. So we run as far as we can from that and drown ourselves by consuming and consuming and consuming shit that leaves us feeling empty and dry. Okay? So instead, what to do is to be aware of what that is, and just then from there, just ask God. Ask God, ask Jesus to help you where you are right now in this moment in your life. He doesn't judge you. He already knows what you're doing. He knows what I do. He knows our addiction. He knows our weakness. But he wants you to turn to him, to invite him into your life so he can turn it around for the better. He wants you to come to him on your own terms because he gave you and gave me a free will. He gave us a free will to choose, right? And it's because of our choices, good or bad, that we suffer from the consequences of it. So offer everything to God. And once you do that, he will show you the way. He'll show you the next step. Stop saying, well, I don't know how to overcome. I don't know how to stop this addiction. I don't know how. That's going to just keep you stuck. Instead of saying, I don't know how, just open up to God. God, show me. I'm going to place everything, all of me in your hands. Work with me, mold me, show me what I must do. And he will show you the next step if you trust in him. So if you really want to overcome these addictions, these bad habits, these vices in your life, you want to be a better version, a healthy version, and not be controlled and ruined or ruled by your addictions and vices, because you know it's sucking the life out of you. It's draining you from living a happy, joyful, free life. It's time to break free from your addictions, my friends. Turn to the one who can save you, who can heal you, the ultimate physician who is Jesus Christ, my friend. He came to heal the sick, the sinners. Turn to him now, because whatever you've been doing, if it's not working, what do you have to lose? Open your heart to him and receive his love and trust that he will work with you and change your life and transform your life. He will. He will transform your life, you guys. Hey, listen, I went from attention seeker to truth seeker, right? If you've been here, follow me for maybe 2 years now, I was on here and not purposely doing it, but I found that my dancing, moving my body, and then showing less of me in bikinis in the summertime was getting attention, and it was growing an audience and getting followers, but all for the wrong reasons, my friend. And so I got addicted to that, right? Every day posting, and being a slave to social media and taking time away from my family, my loved ones, because I was more concerned about the attention I was getting online on social media, on TikTok here. Until finally, at last summer, I started really realizing, I'm like, this is not worth it. I don't feel like satisfaction. Maybe in the moment you feel that temporary satisfaction, but anything of this world is only temporary. You want pure satisfaction, complete joy. Only Christ is the one who can give you that complete satisfaction, complete joy. He's the one who could quench your thirst for life, my friends. I'm telling you, because I went from, you've been watching me, I went from, I just did like a 180 from like showing off, now I'm covered up and I'm dressed, and it can be hard because I'm a fitness coach, I'm a dancer, and I love to dance but now I just dance at home for myself or for my partner. Like, I don't have to come on here and dance for the whole world and have men Googling over me and drooling over me and doing whatever, who knows what, while they're watching me. So, and causing you to sin. So I put an end to that. If you watch my last 2 videos where I talk about the old me is gone, dead and gone, right? The old Stacy. So it could be scary because this is what you know. If you've been addicted to something for years and years of your life, ever since maybe a teenager, you turn to something that helped you thought would numb the pain. You're like, oh, if I do this, well, I feel good. I forget about that. But it hasn't got you anywhere better in life. You're just more addicted, and maybe even heavier addicted, and led you to more addictions in your life. Maybe ruined relationships and families and marriages and who knows what, careers and jobs. I've seen it in my own life. My father wasn't around because of addiction. He had addiction, but then, if you look at his life, he was abused in foster homes, beaten. So like he turned to alcohol to numb the pain from his childhood, right? And therefore then it affected him to being a father and raising his children and being here for his children. And then my ex-husband was an alcoholic, and he tried his best, but it just brought him down. He got sick and almost actually died physically because of it. And I couldn't stand watching him slowly killing himself, so I left and divorced him after a 15-year marriage. And then my boyfriend after that, well, actually I left my husband for another man because he was sick and just didn't care, and killing himself slowly. This other man then had an addiction to alcohol and pain pills. I'm like, what the F? Like my father, my ex-husband, my boyfriend at the time, like what? What's wrong, Stacy? And so it took me to like 40 years old to figure out my shit. Like these men in my life were just not good for me. And these choices I made for myself, but I couldn't blame them. I made the choices. And from there, that's when I said, okay, what can I do for myself? What do I have to do to better myself, to better my life, for myself, for my children at the time? And that was remove myself out of those toxic relationships and take care of myself. And then I got into the best shape of my life by exercising, then eating healthy. I became a certified health coach, and I've been on this journey. And by doing all those things and gaining the confidence and feeling good about myself and letting go of the past and the bullshit of my life, I found true love of self first, and then I attracted a love of my life. A man that I've been together now 5 years. We're engaged, and we have a beautiful future planned for our life. It's because I made these choices, good and bad, but that led me here. So really, my friend, you want to transform your life, take a look at your life. And I get it, it's scary. Nobody wants to take a look at their life and reflect back in their life. But it's because of all the good and bad you are where you are today. So reflect. Is it good? Are you in a right place right now? State of mind and heart? Do you feel happy where you are? Or you know that there's room for change and growth, and that you need to let go of those habits. You need to let go and heal the past, so you're not turning to those addictions and you're not consuming all the bullshit in your life that you're consuming, that you're just trying to numb out the pain. It's time to heal. And once you can heal and let go and forgive yourself, forgive others, whoever you feel that caused you, because we want to blame someone. Maybe even want to blame God. Everybody wants to blame God. Make peace with whatever that is with you. Find the peace. Like I said, let God be the center of your life, and He would transform your life. If you need the help to overcome an addiction, okay, I'm your girl, your coach. If not me, someone else, find someone. But let me tell you, I've overcome addictions. I can go through challenges. I haven't eaten meat over 30 years. I haven't drank alcohol in 3 years. I pray every day. So like this is where maybe I get addicted to, like, I could get on a challenge and stick through to the end, because once I make a commitment to myself, I am committed to see it through. And tomorrow starts the first day of Lent, y'all. So what better time now is to start reflecting on your life. Lent is a season to cleanse out the closet, to cleanse out the spiritual closet, my friend, right? To go out into the desert, the dry desert, and to let go of all the bullshit so that you can be ready for spring, for new life and a new beginning, a new chapter. Oh my goodness, amen, amen. I don't know about you, I love Lent because I love this time of year where you should be praying more, right? Almsgiving, fasting, and giving and helping those in need, right? It's a time to just to clean out the closet, my friend. Clean out your spiritual. Let go of the baggage in your life. Let go of the bullshit in your life. You can do it. You can do it. I believe in you. One day at a time. So incorporate Lent, whether you're Christian or not. Just use this time of year to let go of the things that don't serve you. Starting with, what are those addictions? What are those vices? What are those bad habits that you know you keep going back to day after day after day, that's just consuming your life? What is that for you? Take one day at a time. And if you guys want, I got my 90-day program to go from unhealthy to healthy in 90 days. Let me tell you. So if you tried everything in the past, it didn't work, or maybe you never even tried to take the first step to overcome your addiction, hey, whatever you feel like, you want to just go right in with a coach and work with a coach for 90 days, week by week, or you could try doing it yourself. You know, it's okay to ask for help and support, my friend. We do all need support and help, let me tell you. You know, but first, if you want, start talking to God, have that conversation with God, Christ, let Christ be the center of your life, and He will transform your life. Amen. So thank you for tuning in. Please make sure to subscribe, share, and rate and review this podcast. I greatly appreciate it. And if you could also screenshot this episode and tag me at Stacy Ziegler Speaks on my Instagram accounts, and I will share you my stories, and together we can inspire and motivate others to tune in to listen so they can transform their life. So as always, thank you so much for tuning in to Speak Truth, where I share truth, tips to help you transform your world. Until the next time, my friend, go out in the world, share love, make peace, and be happy. God bless. Mwah.